Can Battlefield outcompete Warzone and Call of Duty? The rivalry itself is a tale as old as time. Let's have a chat. What's going on, guys? It's Smudger here, and today I want to take a minute and discuss whether or not we're going to see a surefire contender for Warzone with the release of the new Battlefield. Of course, the trailer has just dropped, but the rivalry between these franchises and the fans goes back years. But before we jump into the modern day competition that is potentially brewing, if you do enjoy this video, give it a like, subscribe if you want to find your way back. Now let's have a quick recap for anyone who is unaware of this rivalry. This is a FPS rivalry stretching back almost 2 decades. Both released their first games in the very early 2000s, both to critical acclaim. Metacritic scores were through the roof, and both have seen huge successes and fairly embarrassing busts, going toe to toe to maintain a competitive nature between the games and communities. For years, the debate has raged about which franchise is better. COD fans stood firmly behind their run and gun, fast-paced action multiplayer, keeping them hooked for hours, and the engaging campaign storylines with the like of Soap, Price and Ghost from the Modern Warfare side of things, and icons like Mason, the numbers, what do they mean, from the Black Ops side of things. Meanwhile, Battlefield hardcore fans claim that the game's long-form tactical matches built upon with strategic gameplay and intense realistic multiplayer combat made their FPS far superior to a lowly run-and-gun shooter. Now, whatever side you stood on this debate, both franchises seem to hit a bit of a slump, especially with the introduction of a new competitor, Battle Royales. It saw gaming take an entirely different turn, as we all know, introducing massive last man standing modes for players to battle their way through. So step forward Black Ops 4, and specifically Blackout, and Battlefield 5, and of course Firestorm. Of course, Blackout came first, and well, to a respectable level of success, especially in a franchise that can be so resistant to change like Call of Duty. The mode was pretty popular and saw tons of streamers and creators really make a name for themselves out there, and a lot of them have managed to build on that success going forward into Warzone. And Blackout definitely felt like one of those pivotal moments for COD, a kind of sink or swim event where the community would either embrace the style of Battle Royales or they would shun them and stick with the original arena-style shooters they knew and loved. Meanwhile, over at DICE, they released Firestorm in March 2019, and well, it just died, to be honest. The major issue here is that you had to pay full price for a game that, well, wasn't complete. Battle Royales thrive on the free-to-play nature of them, and then they profit off of the microtransactions that come with it. It hooks people into playing with them and gets them to buy aesthetic bundles like Warzone does to us. And that's not what we saw with Firestorm. People don't want to pay full price for a Battle Royale that they maybe will like. And with free-to-play Battle Royale competition so high at the time, what chance did it really stand in hindsight? I really don't know what the developers or the marketing team was thinking here. And if you couple that with long queue times, server bugs, weapon bugs, movement mechanics just not working, and while the fact that Battlefield had almost lost its unique selling point, it used to be acclaimed for its massive player counts in one map, and now they were just on par with some of the most popular Battle Royales out there. They had lost that thing that really made them unique to a lot of the outsiders looking in. Of course, in the weeks leading up to the latest installment in the Battlefield series, we saw increasing leaks, hints, suggestions that a fresh Battle Royale would be arriving. And well, the thing is, if you told me this a couple of months ago, I'd be stoked, right? Something to push and compete with Warzone. Because the thing about this competition throughout the years, for the most part, it pushed each company to produce better and better games, and all it meant for us is that it was a win-win. You force the devs to make better changes, to be innovative, to come up with great new ideas. Both sides want to stay on top and profit, and we just get great games to play. That's the way it had always been, especially in that golden era where, you know, they were really competing almost toe-to-toe for sales. But Raven Software kind of came out of the woodwork over the past couple of months and have done some major moral finding, and they seem determined to not put a foot wrong. The meta balancing, the weapon tuning, the listening to the community, who knew it was that easy, has all been fantastically on point. It's what we've been crying out for, besides, you know, an anti-cheat for over a year now. It feels like they almost recognised the very real threat of losing players to Battlefield and stepped up their game before DICE even had the chance to build up hype for their own game and release the trailer that they have just released. It was a pretty smart move. Whether they did it intentionally or not, I'd be hard pushed to find anyone that could tell me they didn't do it intentionally in a company as big as Raven Software and Activision. And of course, the thing they're trying to do here is to stop people going back over to Battlefield. A large number of Battlefield players and creators came over to Warzone. You know, people like Westy and Jack Frags, who make a lot of Battlefield content, have been some of Warzone's biggest fans. And these creators and the die-hard fans that have come over to Warzone will of course go back to Battlefield. They'll try it out, they'll make videos on it, they'll probably play it a fair bit. But I'd be surprised if you don't often see them in Verdansk as well, because Warzone has that kind of grip on people at the moment. But for the most part, DICE aren't worried about them because they'll get the money in the pocket from those sales and they'll probably get some decent playtime out of them. They'll probably get some aesthetic support for them. Things will probably be okay on the die-hard side of things. They're worried about people who play Battlefield casually. Some players play Call of Duty multiplayer casually. It doesn't mean they're particularly invested in the game. You know, maybe they cop it if it's on sale one day. But a lot of these players made the switch to Warzone, both casual players in Call of Duty and Battlefield. DICE are worried they won't get those players back. Boots on grounds and hands in wallets to pay the £60 for the next game, Battle Royale or not. How are you going to drag these players from one of the most engaging gaming experiences we've seen in the past 2 years? Warzone has fantastically been working on community relations just in time to fend off the worst of the Battlefield attacks, in my opinions. Battlefield are reliant on big streamers like Dr. Disrespect, who has said multiple times that the Battlefield Battle Royale might be one of the best yet to come. They need this hype to come from the outside because I don't think they're capable of producing it internally, and I don't think they're capable of producing it against some of the hype that Warzone's been able to produce. What they don't want is players coming over for a bit and skulking back over to Warzone the moment DICE's back is turned. Long-term player base retention keeps BRs from sinking. Hell, it keeps games from sinking for the most part. One of Firestorm's biggest issues was that the player base just was not there. People got so fed up of it being broken and unplayable that they couldn't retain a player base big enough to even fill a lobby, and then that in turn led to massively long wait times and you lost more and more people. If I was DICE, well, I gotta be damn sure that this is the best game I've ever produced to be able to compete with Call of Duty right now. And well, if you're Raven Software, you're raising the bar for your oldest competitor and asking them to clear it, and not just clear it, but clear it convincingly enough to take most of your player base with it. Only time will tell if they're up for the challenge, I guess. As always, I do want to know what your thoughts are on this. Will you be checking out the new Battlefield game when it drops? Let me know in the comments down below. As always, if you did enjoy the video, give it a like, subscribe if you want to find your way back. Hope you all have a good day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.